So at the time of me recording this, the Clippers just beat the Jazz in like an insane game six, and they're going on to the Western Conference Finals. I'm putting this up a little later just because it's like 2 a.m. right now when I'm recording it, so I just don't want to get it up right now. But pretty much like I just wanted to break down what the Jazz defense was doing, or mainly Rudy Gobert really, because I feel like if he like actually stepped it up on defense, the team would have played so much better today or tonight, or I guess last night when you're watching this. But I mean, like a lot of the issues on a lot of the issues on the Jazz defense was stemming from defensive player of the year Rudy Gobert. And the zone defense they kept on running. So I'll just I have like 5 or 6 clips that I'm gonna play just to like illustrate this, right? So we'll start here. This is towards the end of the game. You can see like 8:46 left in the fourth. And yeah, so I'm just gonna play, and then I'm gonna actually 1 second. Yeah, and I'm just gonna draw on it and stuff, so like it's just better to illustrate my point. 1 second, let me just start playing it. So we can see like Paul George is up. I can actually pause it. Wow, yeah, we can see Paul George is up here. He's driving attention, trying to making the defense think that he's driving to the hoop, right? Ignore this like terribly drawn arrow, but this is what the plan is, right? The defense thinks he's gonna just drive to the hoop and then get them there, right? And so the problem with this is like the whole time the whole game the Jazz were running a zone defense, which made sense because and you can actually see it here. It's like a 1-4 zone kind of, right? Like one player, Donovan Mitchell, I think at the key, and the rest are just guarding the paint. And that makes sense because if you watched game 5, the Clippers were not shooting well whatsoever. They were like, the only reason they won is because like Paul George just completely took over and became the entire Clippers offense. And even in the first half of this game, the Clippers weren't shooting that well. They were breaking up a bunch of threes. They were relying on finishing. So it made sense to have like the tall players like Rudy Gobert here is standing in the middle. I think this is Bogdanovich. He's also standing in the middle. Just trying to get people just to like crowd the paint and so force them to shoot, which in theory makes sense because a lot of their shooters weren't doing good. Like Terrence Mann here, I'm going to talk about him a lot because he went insane today. Terrence Mann here, Reggie Jackson, they both were like not playing that good. Even Nick Batum, this play is centered around Nick Batum actually. Um, yeah. So like they just weren't shooting that well in game 5 in the first half of this game 6. So that's the reason why like all of them were like guarding the paint here, and then just having Donovan Mitchell here to like protect any ISO plays. Um, Not exactly sure who this player here is, but I mean it's not that important. I'm talking about Gobert here. But yeah, so let me just play and then I can like break it down. So like I said, you can see Paul George driving, and then this is the important part. Right, let me just rewind it. So you can see Paul George driving here, right? And this is right before he makes the pass. Nick Batum is wide open. I understand that you want to guard you want to protect the paint as much as possible. You can see Gobert here, Bogdanovich here. I don't know who that is, but this guy here too might be Royce O'Neal. I'm not exactly sure. Um, and then you can see like Jordan Clarkson here, who's making sure that, again, I'm not exactly sure who these are because like the video quality is terrible. I'm very sorry about that. But you can see Jordan Clarkson here trying to protect him from getting the ball as well, just in case. So, and then what we see here though on this side, like on the bottom half of our screen, Bogdanovich, he's like looking at the paint and he's pretty much leaving. He's focusing more on Terrence Mann than he is on Batum. So let me just play the clip out and then I can like explain what the Jazz could have done here to make it a bit better. So yeah, let me actually play it. So you saw that, right? Like, so Batum was wide open right here, and then he just immediately picks it up and shoots it. So pretty much like, and then you can see like Bogdanovich actually running towards Batum to try to get some contest off, right? Which is good. You want to do that as much as possible. In my opinion, I think like, again, a zone defense, I completely, actually at this point in the game, it's like what, 8:43 left in the fourth, right? I did not agree with the fact that like Quinn Snyder was still forcing the team to run a zone defense here, because Terrence Mann over here, he was going automatic. I think at this point he had like 34 points. Like every single player on the court shot at least like 2 threes, I'm pretty sure. Like made at least 2 3-pointers, I'm pretty sure, right? So I didn't understand why they were running a zone defense, but I mean, whatever. You're still trying to like protect Paul George from driving to the hoop, because you could see like, on that play he was here, and then he drove here, and then he passed it out to Batum, right? But yeah. So I think the only way to really fix is just have like Bogdanovich. He's standing right here. Just move him like out to here. That's all you have to do. Not like to the paint, but like right here, just perfectly in between Terrence Mann and Nick Batum, or maybe even like a bit closer to Batum actually, because I'll show you why. Because like Terrence Mann was tending to like actually hesitate on his shots a lot. So I'm just gonna play this out, right? You could see here, like you could see Bogdanovich like trying to run from here to here, trying to get like a last contest on that shot, to just make the contest as effective as possible. See, like he's running all the way from like almost the baseline to Batum, right, which is like a far distance. Literally, the best way you could avoid that, get a better contest, is just have Bogdanovich stand like right over here, and then right then like you pretty much like you make the shot much harder for Batum to make, right? That's about it. That's all you could do. I'll just play this clip out so you can see. Yeah, bang. Um, yeah, and then I'll pull up the next clip now. Like I have a bunch of clips of just this, like especially like Terrence Mann and Reggie Jackson. I think I have a Reggie Jackson clip pulled up. But yeah, give me 1 second. So yeah, as you can see, this one is 3:10 in the third. Oops, I didn't have my pen equipped. 3:10 in the third. I'll just play this clip out because like this is what I was talking about with Terrence Mann. Like noted this is in the third, so it made sense still for like them to keep the zone defense, because look at the score. Like the Jazz were still up by 10 points here. So it makes sense why they were running the zone defense, but let me just like run this clip through and then I'll just break it down real quick. Yeah, so as you can see, like this is what I was talking about, like Terrence Mann, he hesitated a lot. Like I have another clip I think I'm gonna pull up where he hesitates again before taking the shot. So let me so right now this zone defense is perfect. It's like a 1-2-2 kind of zone play. Like you got one I think that's Jordan Clarkson up here. I could be wrong. I'm just saying that because of the headband, but probably wrong. Jordan Clarkson up here guarding Reggie Jackson, I think. Then just two players on the key and then two players on the paint, right? Standard zone play makes sense because especially when you have like a elite shot blocker. Although Rudy Gobert didn't block any shots today, let that be known. You have Gobert here just to like clog up the lane or clog up the paint. Just prevent anyone from getting in and like trying to contest the shot as much as possible. So this play is actually kind of similar to the Paul George play that I just showed. Like it's a lot of the plays that I'm going to pull up today are like very similar to that Paul George play. So you can see here Reggie Jackson did the same thing as Paul George, just drive in and then pass the ball out to Terrence Mann. Ignore my drawing. I'm not an artist by any means, but yeah, let's just play it and then see. So now pretty much all that Reggie Jackson did was draw the attention of Jordan Clarkson and Rudy Gobert in the center, right? Makes sense, just try to get like Terrence Mann as open as possible. But the thing is here, like this play is actually kind of on Joe Ingles, because I think if we played a little, you can see Rudy Gobert got like kind of stuck just by like I don't know, I guess just being like so close to the baseline. I guess I don't really know. You can see like he got kind of tripped up here. Let me go back and we can play it again. I guess. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Like, it could have just been that he was slow to get there, which makes sense because he was trying to, like, prevent Reggie Jackson from getting the bucket. But here, right, you can see Terrence Mann stops here for a little, right? I'm just, like, playing in slow motion. He stops here for a little. Joe Ingles starts to go near him, but then he just stops. I can play it back. See, like, just, like, watch. Just watch this area right here. You can see Joe Ingles start to go near, like start to run towards. Like, see, he took a step near Terrence Mann, then just jumped back. Presumably because Rudy Gobert was like starting to run and he could see that. But the problem is I don't see why Joe Ingles kind of started like committed to running towards Terrence Mann, because I understand like you might like want to protect the pass to Marcus Morris, right, who's just like standing right here wide open in case he gets passed to. But you can see like Terrence Mann is starting to wind up his jump shot here. See, like he takes a dribble starting, and then like even when he's like, even when he does that, Joe Ingles is starting to run away. So like the problem is like not that they were running zone defense in a lot of these scenarios actually. It's just the fact that like how they were executing the zone defense, if that makes sense. Like it would make sense if you had like, if you just kept that's Mike Conley there. So not Jordan Clarkson, it's Mike. Oh no, this is Jordan. Wow, okay, wow, I'm just lost right now. But it'll make sense if you kept like, Rudy Gobert and Jordan Clarkson here protecting the paint, right? Like Jordan Clarkson to just slow down any guards like Reggie Jackson was running in, because I think Jordan Clarkson was out here at the beginning, right? Like running with Jordan Clarkson. And then Rudy Gobert just being here to like block the shot if needed, right? Then just having two people over here, like, how the play originally was designed, or how the defense originally was designed was perfect for this, right? Just have like Joe Ingles and Mike Conley out here, just like kind of protect the whole 3-point line, right? And then you're good. That's the problem. Like the reason that this defense broke down it was literally on Joe Ingles, not even on Rudy Gobert actually, just because Joe Ingles refused to commit to defending Terrence Mann. And then I got one more. I don't know if I should do more. I'm going to go through my clips again, but I'll pull up one more clip because I think this is pretty interesting. It's one where Paul George is driving, or someone's driving. I'll pull it up. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to play that Paul George one, but basically this is going to be the last one I'll use to make a point. Then I'll just kind of go talk about the actual talk about the defenses in general in the whole game after this. So I'll just play this back again. This is another Terrence Mann bucket, and almost the exact same way that the last one was too. So as we can see, let's just break down the whole scenario of the play and everything, right? So 5:42 left in the fourth. Clippers are up 7 points. Yeah. Pretty important. And then this is when you could see that the Clippers were just assaulting or completely attacking the Jazz on the 3-point line, right? I think at this point Terrence Mann had 31 points at this point in the game, if I'm not mistaken. So as you could see here, it's literally the exact same way that they got it every single time, right? You can see here, Paul George goes from here, drives to the hoop, actually goes for a layup this time. He didn't just pass it, or jumped up. Let me erase that. Actually jumped up and then passed it to Batum, right? And then the good part here was that as we can see here, you could see Mike Conley right here start to run towards Batum, try to contest the shot, right? Assuming that Batum was shooting, which is good, right? Then the problem here is Terrence Mann did that stutter again. He just stood there for a little bit, or the hesitation, and it was quite a long time, right? And at that point, especially considering that Terrence Mann did this before in the game, I just broke down, Rudy Gobert was just standing here staring at him. See, just watch him right here, just standing here staring at him for how long is that? 2-3 seconds, right? That may not seem like a lot of time, but in basketball, literally all you have to do, that Terrence Mann is hot right now, so you don't want to leave him wide open like you are here. Just either Mike Conley was committed to defending Nick Batum, so he couldn't do anything. Literally all that Rudy Gobert had to do was just not even make it all the way, but just run and jump towards Terrence Mann, try to get some contest off, right? Try to just intimidate Terrence Mann into hurrying up his routine, because he was taking quite a bit of time. It tended we can time it right now from he got the ball right here, and then it took him that's about 2-3 seconds, just when I was scrolling. Yeah, got the ball here. Yeah, it is like 2-3 seconds of him just standing still, trying to get a perfect shot off or something. I guess I don't know what he's doing, but like trying to talk him, trying to just get the perfect shot in his mind, right? Literally, all you could do to just speed up that process was just have Let me go to like where Terrence Mann got the ball. He got the ball right here. All you could do to speed up that process, Rudy Gobert should have just ran here, and then that would have been perfect, right? Terrence Mann may have made that shot, but it still shows like he's not going to be safe making that shot in the future. It's going to like intimidate him into like hurrying up his routine in the future and like future plays. Although this was like the last like second to last play, I think, where Terrence Mann is actually out in the quarter, actually scored. But I mean, that's all you have to do. Like all Rudy Gobert did all the game was just stand in the paint, trying to do what he does best, try to get blocks. But the problem is this game, he didn't get a single block. I think he ended up. I have a StatMuse thing actually, because StatMuse was like attacking him a bunch not for no reason. It is kind of funny, but let me pull up that tweet. Yep, see here, according to StatMuse, Rudy Gobert was -24 and had 0 blocks, right? His whole claim to fame as a good defender is his blocking ability, crowding the paint, intimidating players who are trying to drive to the hoop, right? That's his whole thing, and he failed to do that tonight. So literally the best thing you could do, if you're failing to if you're standing in the paint and trying to intimidate shooters or intimidate offensive players, but that's not working, the best thing to do is just try to make some impact somewhere defensively, right? Because like Rudy Gobert did not have a good game at all tonight, offensively, defensively, it is a stinker. It is like in all definition of the term, it was a stinker. And yeah, I mean, literally like what Rudy could have done here is like, all he could have done is just, like try to contest some shots, try to like just stand on the perimeter, just like intimidate shooters into like, probably making bad shots if you just hold your hands in their face, right? Like maybe, yes, they could drive to the hoop, but as we saw in that previous play, actually, let me pull it up again. Yeah, like if you look here, you still have Donovan Mitchell at the paint. You still have Mike Conley who can go in. Like you still have even like Bogdanovich up here. Like any of them could have just like gone in and tried to intimidate. Like Donovan Mitchell is still a great defender, especially on guards or I don't know if Terrence Mann is guard, but like smaller players like Terrence Mann, right? Maybe he couldn't get the block up, but he could have like, tried to like poke the ball free or like, try to like do something, like make some play that would intimidate Terrence Mann if Rudy Gobert was up here and Terrence Mann tried to just go around and drive to the paint, right? Like, and either way, like Rudy Gobert wouldn't have gone to like this point in time, right? All he could have done is just like started running out a little, just like play some mind games, play some, just psych Terrence Mann out and try to like force a bad shot or something, right? Because the more time you let Terrence Mann just stand here, like I said, it's like 3 seconds, right? The more time you let Terrence Mann just stand here, the better chance he's gonna have of actually making the shot, right? Especially when he was like automatic today, he ended up scoring 39 points in the entire game, and like most of it came in the second half. I think he scored 12 in the first quarter, 2 in the second quarter, then 15 in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, well, 25 in the second quarter. I cannot do math. Or second half. Especially when he's automatic, all you want to do, like, even if you don't think it's going to affect it as something, it will in the long run, right? Although, like, the game was pretty much over at this point. Well, not really, but, like, Terrence Mann just kind of got off the court at that point. Paul George also just kind of slowed down after that. The game was pretty much over after this dagger, I guess. The most you could have done is just, like, run here, try to psych Terrence Mann out and make him think, like, for the rest of the game that, like, someone... If it's not Gobert, like maybe if Donovan Mitchell ended up on this side, Donovan Mitchell would stand here, or maybe Mike Conley, anyone on the court, just any Jazz player, would just end up like trying to force Terrence Mann to a bad shot, and, like make him think that like for the rest of the game he has to like speed up his process, just take whatever shot he can get without like trying to think about it too much. Because I have no doubt that like this standing, just like hesitating here this time and the last play I just broke down, had enough like just like put him more into the zone, like continued his hot streak, and just made him more confident in shooting overall. So yeah, this again kind of a different video, and wow, it ended up being pretty long. Hope you enjoyed. Again, leave any comments. It is a fun game to watch. 25-point comeback was insane. Clippers' first Western Conference Finals appearance in the history of their franchise, which is amazing. Very happy for the Clippers. Paul George is like one of my favorite players ever. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed again, and I'll see you.